Hello and welcome to another video session of geekvale. We're going to talk about the midpoint and the distance formula. Before continuing on, you must have a good understanding about the coordinate system, the rectangular coordinate system, the x, y axis and stuff, and how do we plot point and how do we locate points on the rectangular coordinate system. So if you haven't watched the lecture on the rectangular coordinate system and locating points, I've posted the link in the description. You can watch that first and then you should continue. Otherwise, if you have watched the lecture or those who have already know the concept about the rectangular coordinate system and locating points and stuff, those can continue. Alright, let's draw some random points. So we have the y-axis, the x-axis. We're gonna go with the positive x-axis and the positive y-axis, just the first quadrant, both positive. Okay, let's say we have we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and here we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that should do. Let's pick some random points like let's say point A is 2, 3. Point A is 2, 3, and point B is, let's say, 6, 5. 6, 5 is located there. Yeah, right about there. B, 6, 5. Okay, now I want to calculate the midpoint between these 2 points. So this one, point A, these are the 2 coordinates of point A, the x coordinate and the y coordinate. And B, it also has 2 coordinates, the x coordinate and the y coordinate. So let's refer to the x and y coordinates of the point A as x1 and y1. And let these be x2 and y2. So in order to calculate the midpoint between point A and B, midpoint of AB will be, to calculate the x coordinate of the midpoint, what you do, add their x coordinates and divide it by 2. And to calculate the y coordinate of the midpoint, you will do y1 plus y2 over 2. That's pretty much it. All you have to do is add their x coordinates, that is 2 plus 6 divided by 2. And for the y coordinate of the midpoint, you add their y coordinates, 3 plus 5 divided by 2. So 2 plus 6 will be 8, divided by 2 will be 4, and 3 plus 5 will be 8, divided by 2 will be 4. So the midpoint of AB will be 4, 4. Let's look at that now. There, and if it works out properly for you, they should be equidistant. Are they? Yeah, they should be equidistant from the midpoint. And that's how you can easily calculate the midpoint between 2 points, is that you add their x coordinates and divide by 2, and their y coordinates and divide by 2. Second thing that we have is the distance formula. The distance formula is something that we use to calculate the distance between 2 points, like what is the distance between A, B right now. The distance D, let's call it D, and the distance is always positive, so I'll draw absolute with that. If you don't know what these 2 lines mean or what absolute is, you can check the lecture on absolute. Okay, to calculate the distance, we use the distance formula, which is distance D, which is always positive, by the way, can be calculated by doing this thing. x2 take away x1 whole square plus y2 take away y1 whole square. Okay, now do we have the x1 and y1 and x2 and y2 coordinates? Yes. I'm gonna write it down over here. A was 2, 3, and B is, if I remember, B is 6, 5. Okay, 6, 5, right? So this can be referred to again as x1 and y1, and this will be treated as x2 and y2. So we plug in these values into this formula and we will have x2 minus x1, 6 minus 2 whole square, plus y2 minus y1, 5 minus 3 whole square, right? So 6 minus 2 will be 4 square plus 5 minus 3, 2 square. That will be under root of 16 plus 4, which is under root of 20. Now under root of 20 can be rewritten as 2 square root of 5 units. If no unit is mentioned, you will just say unit, right? If it doesn't say centimeter, millimeter on the graph, you will just say units. So the distance between AB is 2 square root of 5 units, and that's how you can easily calculate the distance between 2 points. And we've already discussed the case how we can determine the midpoint between 2 points. The distance is not just horizontal or vertical, it's a mix of these two. It's a slanted distance. If it's only horizontal distance, it would be something like that, which we can easily calculate by subtracting the x-axis only, because there is no y coordinate in that. Similarly, if the distance is vertical only, we can just subtract the y coordinates, because there is no x coordinate in that case will be. But here it was both x and y coordinates, so the distance will be something like that. For that, we use the distance formula. Hope you have a clear understanding of that by now. In the next lecture, I'll be uploading the video on the application, and we'll be solving questions which will define the application of the distance formula and how we can use that in the rectangular coordinate system to calculate the area and the perimeter of different shapes. And this is about it for now. Please remember to subscribe my channel, share it with your friends. You can visit our website if you want any tutoring for any subject, and you can follow us on Facebook. Thank you.